Good day everyone, welcome to another episode of Tax Training, and today I will discuss how to declare business losses to BIR, and this is pursuant to Revenue Regulations number 12-77. Ito yung regulations that regulates or gives requirements kung ano po yung gagawin pagka meron tayong lugi sa ating pagnenegosyo. But before that, I would like to say thank you to those who subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much, and sana huwag kayong magsawa at sana muli nyo pa rin tangkilikin yung ating YouTube channel. At sisikapin din naman namin na makapagbigay kami sa inyo ng mga updated information in taxation. Itong pag-uusapan natin ngayon ay tungkol sa substantiation o ano ba yung, paano nyo patunayan na nalugi kayo o may mga nangyari sa business ninyo na cause para malugi. Okay? So, ito yung Revenue Regulations number 12-77. Ito yung substantiation requirements for losses arising from casualty, robbery, theft, or embezzlement. So, ano yung mga casualty na yan? Ito yung mga partial destruction ng property. So, pwedeng na ano siya, na sunog, pwedeng nabaha, pwedeng na natumba o whatever. So, mga unexpected na destruction ng property, whether partial or total. It denotes accident, some sudden invasion by hostile agency, and excludes progressive deterioration through steadily operating cost. Bakit exclude progressive deterioration? Kasi itong progressive deterioration, ibig sabihin yung nasisira yung mga gamit natin, binigyan tayo dyan ng gobyerno ng allowance. Yun po yung tinatawag natin na depreciation for obsolescence, wear and tear. So, hindi natin pwedeng i-claim yan dahil sa depreciation na wala naman talaga tayong gastos doon sa depreciation pero binigyan tayo ng allowance on obsolescence. So, hindi yan kasama po dito. Okay? So, ano yung mga casualty? The example, pwedeng na bagyo, na baha, na sunog, no? So, yun yung mga example ng casualties. So, halimbawa nangyari yan sa negosyo natin, anong gagawin natin? Dapat po i-report po natin yan sa BIR para pwede nating na-claim sa ating income tax return. So, ano naman po itong theft? Theft is yung ninakaw. Halimbawa, may inventories mo, nagtitinda ka ng alahas, ninakaw. No? It is criminal appropriation of another's property to the use of the taker. So, criminal po yan, no? Theft. That is punishable under our revised penal code. So, anong gagawin natin pagka tayo ay nanakawan? Paano po natin i-report? Embezzlement naman, ito yung fraudulent appropriation ng another's property by a person to whom it has been entrusted or into whose hands it has lawfully come. So, halimbawa, meron tayong manager sa store natin, tapos yung manager mismo, siya yung nagnakaw. No? O kaya meron tayong ahente, yung ahente mismo yun yung nagnakaw. O kaya meron tayong cashier, yung cashier mismo siya yung nagnakaw doon sa ating cash. Halimbawa, benta natin. So, ang tawag po doon is embezzlement. Kung may mga ganitong pangyayari, ano po yung dapat nating gawin? Para naman yung mga actual na nangyayari na nakakapag-cause sa atin na malugi tayo sa negosyo, ay may report natin sa BIR at maklaim natin as deduction sa ating income tax return. So, ano po yung requirements of substantiation? Dapat ang taxpayer or ang business owner ay mag-report niyan sa BIR sa pamamagitan ng declaration of loss. Mamaya, meron tayong example dyan sa declaration of loss. Okay, that declaration of loss should be filed with the Commissioner of Internal Revenue or sa BIR within a certain period. Ang certain period po dito is 45 days, no? After the occurrence of the casualty, the fire, the robbery, yung pagnanakaw, or the embezzlement, no? So, 45 days, pag nangyari yun, dapat nakapag-report na tayo niyan sa BIR. And then, ano ba yung attachment natin? Proof of the elements of the loss damage, such as the actual nature and occurrence of the event and the amount of the loss. So, ano to mga proof ng elements na yan? Ano yung kinlaim natin na loss? Yung nature, no? And the occurrence of the event. Sometimes, ang occurrence of the event is bagyo or calamities, no? So, it is public knowledge. Hindi tayo mahirapan dyan na magbigay ng evidence. no? Pag public knowledge. Nung nangyari, pumutok halimbawa yung bulkan, no? So kagaya nitong lockdown, no? So this is public knowledge. Declaration of loss within 45 days after the date of the occurrence of casualty, robbery, theft, or embezzlement, a taxpayer who sustained loss therefrom and who intends to claim the loss as deductions for the taxable year in which the loss was sustained shall file a sworn declaration of loss with the revenue district officer kung saan po siya register. So, anong gagawin natin? Dapat tayo mag-declare ng declaration of loss. Halimbawa, yung nangyari sa atin during the COVID, no? Doon sa ECQ, enhanced community quarantine natin. Halimbawa, nag-close yung ating tindahan, and then mga perishable yung ating goods, or nasira during the time. Dapat i-report natin yan ngayon sa BIR so that makakapag-claim tayo ng loss sa ating negosyo, maklaim natin sa ating income tax return. Okay? So, ano po yung content ng declaration of loss, no? So, it should contain the nature of the event giving rise to the loss and the time of the occurrence. So, ano yung nature of the loss? So, posible siyang lost kasi sinara mo yung tindahan mo, hindi ka na nakapagbukas. So, ninakaw, binuksan nung magnanakaw, kinuha yung mga inventory mo. So, that can be, no? Pwedeng ganyan ang nangyari. And then another, dapat nandyan din sa declaration of loss nyo is the description of the damaged property and its location. So, nasaan ba yan? Sabihin mo, nasa tindahan ko, yung tindahan ko nasa Kamuning. Ilagay po natin doon sa declaration of loss natin, no? Description and the location. Okay, so the items needed to compute the loss, such as cost or other basis of the property, depreciation allowed or allowable, if any, value of the property before and after the event, and then the cost of repair. So lahat ng mga informasyon na dapat malaman ng BIR tungkol sa loss, ilagay po natin. Ano yung mga example daw? The cost basis of the property. So yung depreciation na na-claim na natin, para malaman ng BIR kung magkano na lang yung net amount ng nawala o na-damage na property or inventory. And then the cost of repair. And the amount of insurance or other receivable. Bakit kailangan ito ng BIR? Kasi based po dito sa mga informasyon na to, i-compute ng examiner kung magkano yung pwede nyong i-claim na loss. No? Hindi po lahat ng nawala sa atin pwede natin i-claim. Meron pa pong formula yan, meron pa pong computation na gagawin. No? Bibigyan ko kayo ng example. Proof of loss pa rin, declaration of loss being one of the essential requirement of substantiation of a claim for a loss deduction is subject to verification and does not constitute sufficient proof of the loss that will justify its deductibility for income tax purposes. Of course, ang declaration of loss po, declaration pa lang yan. Sinabi mo lang yan. So, dapat dun sa declaration of loss mo, may proof ka pa na ipapakita. Ito, sinabi mo pa lang na ito, loss ako dahil may nangyari na ganito. Ngayon, after the declaration of loss, meron pang ipapakita mo na mga dokumento that will support your declaration. No? Parang summary lang yung declaration of loss mo na ito sinabi mo na lugi ka, may nangyari sa negosyo mo. Pero, yung proof ng pagkalugi mo, hindi sapat ang declaration of loss. So, for the casualty loss, anong pwedeng ibigay nyo na dokumento? Pwedeng photograph the property. Photograph is very important. Sa photojournalism natin, ano po ang sinasabi natin doon? That the picture will say it all. No? So, photograph of the property as it existed before it was damaged. No? Bakit makikita nung examiner, paano ba yung property before siya na-damage? At least may idea siya. No? Kasi para ma-determine niya yung condition at saka yung value ng property bago siya na-damage. No? And then also, photograph of the property after the casualty. Yung nangyari na yung hindi inaasahan na pangyayari. Why? Kasi makikita mo na kung ano yung extent ng damage. Ma-compare niya yung itsura ng property noon at saka ano na siya ngayon nung na-damage na siya. No? Why? Because the examiner will establish the condition and the value of the property after it was damaged. No? Para ma-determine niya magkano ba talaga yung extent ng loss. Photographs also showing the condition and value of the property after it was repaired, restored, or replaced may also be helpful. Bakit? So, yung picture na ayos na siya at ito yung na-damage na siya, napaka-importante. Why? Kasi makikita mo na kung ano yung diferensya, more or less, ano yung inayos doon sa property. Since the value of the property is extremely important in determining the amount of loss sustained, the taxpayer should be prepared to come forward with documentary proof such as canceled checks, vouchers, receipts, and other evidence of cost. So, para malaman ng examiner magkano ba talaga yung value ng property, dapat may ipapakita ka yung resibo mo, magkano mo in-acquire yung property. No? So, the evidence should be kept by the taxpayer as part of its tax record. So, ano-ano yung mga tax records natin? Napakarami niyan. So, it's part of the tax records ng taxpayer, especially acquisition cost of the property. It should be made available to revenue examiner upon audit of his income tax return and the declaration of loss. Robbery, theft, or embezzlement or losses. Ito yung mga ninakawan na tayo. To support the deduction for losses arising from robbery, theft, or embezzlement, the taxpayer must prove by credible evidence of all the elements of the loss and the proper year of deduction. No? So the taxpayer bears the burden of proof and no deduction will be allowed unless he shows the property was stolen rather than misplaced or lost. So sino po yung may burden of proof talaga na patunayan na nasira yung property o hindi na talaga magamit? The taxpayer. No? Mere disappearance of property is not enough. No? Baka sabihin nyo, nawala, hindi naman makita. No? So, it's not enough kung nawala lang. O kaya na shortage lang yung account. So, hindi po yan sapat na ebidensya. Failure to report theft or robbery to the police may be a factor against the taxpayer. So, kung ninakawan tayo, nasunog tayo, ano po yung gagawin natin? Dapat naka-report yan sa police. Pina-police blatter natin yung nakaw. Yung sunog naman, saan natin yan ipa-blatter? Saan tayo kukuha ng record? Sa fire department naman. Oh? Kasi sila yung mga agency that caters to the yung mga ganyang pangyayari. Halimbawa, sunog. So, it's the fire department. Nakaw. So, the police. Oh, so, doon tayo makikipag-coordinate. At doon tayo kukuha ng mga certification or record na nagpa-blatter tayo sa kanila. So, kung hindi tayo nagpa-blatter, hindi rin alam ng fire department na may sunog tayo. So, questionable yung ating allegations na nasunugan tayo or nanakawan tayo. Okay, so, how is this amount determined na ito yung pwede nating i-deduct sa ating income tax return? No? The amount of casualty loss deductible is limited to the difference between the value of the property immediately preceding the casualty and its value immediately thereafter. So, yung difference nang hindi pa siya nasunog at saka nung nasunog na siya, yung difference niyan, no? Yun yung pwede mong i-claim as loss. But shall not exceed an amount equal to the cost or other adjusted basis of the property or depreciated cost in the case of property used in business, reduced by any insurance or other compensation received. So kung meron tayong insurance na na-receive doon sa na-damage yung property natin, ibawas pa yon sa loss na i-claim natin sa BIR. Bakit? Kasi yung loss, yung logi natin na binayaran ng insurance company, hindi yun kasama sa pag-claim natin. Why? Kasi bayad yun eh. No? So, yung hindi lang covered ng insurance, yun lang yung pwede nating i-claim as deduction doon sa ating income tax return. Okay, so what are the method of valuation? Paano i-value yung loss na na-incur ng isang taxpayer, no? So, the method of valuation is, number one, the fair market value of the property immediately before and after. Why? Kasi kung yung market value ng property before is 1 million, tapos nung nasunog na siya, 500,000 na lang. So, more or less, magkano yung loss? Yung 500,000. Kaya, pag na-satisfy natin yung examiner, ma-allow niya na 500,000 yung nalogi natin. Sino magdidetermine ng fair market value of the property? By a competent appraisal, no? By competent appraisal. So, may mga license tayo na appraiser, no? So kung mga malalaking losses na talaga yung kiniklaim, meron tayong mga independent appraiser na tinatawag na sila yung mag-a-appraise ng value ng property. No, may bayad yun. Number 2, the cost of repairs to the property damage, no, is acceptable as evidence of the loss of value if the taxpayer show. So, yung cost of repair, halimbawa, pina-repair na yung property, nasunog noon o nabagyo noon, no? Tapos pina-repair na. So, yung amount ng pagpapa-repair, pwede rin yun na ipakita natin na ito yung value na na-damage natin. Kasi ito yung cost na nireconstruct natin or inayos natin yung property. No? So, anong requirement? The repair are necessary to restore the property to its condition immediately before the casualty. So, you have to show proof na kailangan talaga ang repair para magamit yung makina, magamit yung equipments doon sa business. We're talking of the machineries or this mga gamit na ginagamit po natin sa business. And then number 2, the amount spent for such repair is not excessive. Kailangan hindi sobra-sobra. Mamaya, yung value ng property is 100,000, tapos yung repair mo 300,000. That's excessive. No? And then number 3, the repairs do not cover more than the damage suffered. Diba, yung damage mo is 100,000. Nag-repair ka ng 400,000. So, excessive. No? The value of the property after the repairs does not, as a result of the repair, exceed the value of the property immediately before the casualty. Pag halimbawa after the repair, sobrang laki na ng yung value ng property, hindi na siya allowed, no? Kasi hindi na nakakaayon doon sa kung ano man yung sira, no? Sumobra na yung repair. So in that case, nasa discretion na yan ng examiner na bawasan niya yung claim mo for loss. Oh? Example, property used in business. Kaya ko diniscuss sa iyo yung property used in business na hindi na natin isama yung personal kasi pagdating po sa income tax return natin, pag nag-claim tayo ng loss, ito lang yung property used in business ang pwede nating i-claim na loss. Total destruction, net book value, or cost less accumulated depreciation, immediately preceding the casualty should be used as the basis in claiming losses. Also, to be reduced by any amount of insurance or compensation received. No? So, yung net book value lang, ano ba itong costless accumulated depreciation? Halimbawa, binili natin yung property or machineries ng 1 million. Tapos, dinepreciate natin siya ng 20 years. So, 1 million divided by 20 years. Tapos, nagamit na natin yung machine na yun ng 5 years. So, kung ano man yung depreciation na na-compute natin, ibawas natin yung depreciation na na-claim na natin for 5 years. So, yun na lang yung costless accumulated depreciation ng property na i-claim natin. And also, kung magkano man yung insurance na natanggap natin doon sa loss na yun, ibabawas din natin. No? Ito yung example. Acquisition of cost of property is 10,000. Accumulated depreciation, 5,000. Insurance recovered niya is 2,500. So, how are you going to compute the loss? No? Acquisition cost 10,000, less accumulated depreciation na 5,000. Why? Ialis natin yung 5,000. Binigay na sa atin yung allowance ng gobyerno. Nakuha. Benefited na tayo doon. Nakuha na natin yun. No? Na-deduct na natin yung sa income tax natin. So, magkano na lang yung amount of loss suffered natin? 5,000 na lang. Kasi yung kalahati, kinain na yun ng depreciation. Compensated na tayo doon sa depreciation. Binayaran pa rin ng insurance ng 2,500. So, how much is the amount deductible na lang as a loss? The 2,500 na hindi na-covered ng depreciation, hindi rin na-covered ng insurance. So, yun na lang yung logi na sinolder natin. And papayagan din tayo ng gobyerno na i-deduct natin doon sa ating income tax return. Ito po yung example ng declaration of loss arising from casualty, robbery, theft, or embezzlement. Pag sinabi natin na declaration of loss affidavit form yun, ibig sabihin, tayo na taxpayer, tayo na nagkaroon ng loss, tayo yung magsasabi noon in a sheet of paper, para ilagay natin doon na parang summary, permahan natin ano yung panotaryo. No? So, ano yung mga information na kailangan? Name of the taxpayer, the address and the TIN, and then state natin the nature of loss. Ano ba yung event causing the loss? Ano ba yung nangyari? Nasunog, nanakawan, putok yung bulkan, nagkaroon ng bagyo. So, lagyan natin yan, nature of loss. Kailan nangyari? Date of occurrence of the event. Tapos, description of the property and its location. Ano ba yung na-damage mo na property? No? Tip ko lang to sa inyo. Dapat yung damaged property na i-declare natin sa loss, dapat naka-declare yan sa balance sheet natin. Otherwise, maku-question tayo. Kasi, saan nanggaling yun? Bakit all of a sudden, nag-declare ka ng loss, wala naman sa balance sheet mo? No? And then, facts and circumstances surrounding the loss of property. Baka mamaya, ninakaw yan kasi nilagay mo lang sa labas, pinabayaan mo. No? And then, name of insurance company or other entity from which recovery claim may be made. So, kung halimbawa meron niyang insurance, no? Ano yung pangalan ng insurance company na sila yung magbabayad because there is a loss. No? And then letter B, doon sa declaration of loss pa rin natin, nakalagay dyan yung acquisition cost of the property. Magkano ba natin siya binili? Halimbawa, binili nga natin ng 1 million. No? So, lagay natin dyan 1 million. And then, lagay din natin magkano na yung na-declare natin na accumulated depreciation. So, kung 5 years yan, i-compute natin sa life ng asset. No? I-compute natin. So, also the amount of insurance recovered. And then, lagyan natin ng amount. And then, subscribe and sworn to before may ibig sabihin, panotarize natin sa notary public. Yan po ang content ng notice of loss natin. Balikan lang po natin yung ating topic, how to declare business losses pursuant to RR number 12-77. Bakit po kailangan natin ito na i-declare natin? Kasi lugi ito sa negosyo natin at karapatan natin bilang isang taxpayer na i-claim natin po yung losses natin sa business. So, may mga kailangan lang tayong i-report na mga dokumento to substantiate our claim. So, ito po yung RR number 12-77 na to. Ito yung guideline natin. So, within 45 days, paalam natin sa BIR. Susulat tayo in a form of affidavit of the declaration of loss and then, pa-receive natin yan sa BIR. At ang gagawin po dyan ng BIR, i-refer niya yan sa examiner. So, may ma-assign na examiner dyan, pupuntahan niya kayo, mag-ocular inspection siya doon sa mga i-declare ninyo na damage na mga properties. Kung may mga picture kayo, i-attach nyo yung picture. Kung meron kayo mga police report, police blotter, i-attach nyo rin po dyan. Kung halimbawa, sunog yan, naka-blatter din yan sa fire department, attach nyo rin yung mga dokumento na yan. Para pagdating ng examiner, titingnan niya, i-evaluate niya, magkakaroon na siya ngayon ng valuation ng inyong loss kung magkano ninyo i-declare sa inyong income tax return. So, yung purpose po natin dito is para may claim ninyo ng tama at kung magkano yung amount na dapat i-declare ninyo sa inyong income tax return due to business losses. No? Hindi po, sabi ko po sa inyo, hindi po lahat ng loss natin. Diba, yung equipment nyo is worth 1 million. Dahil nasunog yun, 1 million na kaagad ang i-declare ninyo na loss. Hindi po ganon. No? So, may sinasabi pa dito sa regulations na i-consider muna yung depreciation, accumulated depreciation, depreciated value ng property. Kasi kung 10 years mo nang ginamit yan, of course, hindi na yan 1 million ang worth. Bakit? Kasi binigyan ka na ng depreciation allowance, na-claim mo na yung depreciation allowance. So, bawas na yun doon sa value ng property na pwede mong i-claim as loss. Ngayon, kung meron ka pang insurance doon sa property na yon at babayaran ka rin ng insurance, bawas pa rin doon sa loss. So, ano na lang yung pwede mong i-claim sa BIR? Yung loss na lang na hindi binayaran ng insurance at saka yung loss na value ng property na net of the allowable depreciation. Okay? Maraming salamat po sa kikinig ninyo dito sa ating YouTube channel at saka doon sa mga nag-subscribe sa atin. Pasalamat din po ako sa inyo. Huwag po sana kayo magsawa to like at subscribe our channel. Ang layunin po namin dito sa tax training is to bring to you updated information in order that you can have better tax compliance. Kasi napakahirap po mag-comply with our social obligation because taxation is a social responsibility ng bawat isa. So, ang sabi nga po nung dati kong director sa BIR, kung hindi man kami makakatulong sa inyo sa pagbabayad ninyo ng tax, makakatulong man lang kami para mapabilis, mapadali, mapagaan sa inyo yung pagbabayad ninyo ng tax. So, stay tuned for our next episode on tax training. Kung meron kayong katanungan at meron kayong mga gustong discuss dito po sa ating YouTube channel, please feel free to write your comment on the YouTube channel po natin para makapag-research po kami at ma-discuss din po natin sa inyo. Sa ganung paraan, makakatulong po kami na magkaroon ng linaw ang inyong mga katanungan about taxation. So, thank you very much.